Good afternoon. I can see Shamu
Good
there.
afternoon, madam.
Yeah, good afternoon, Shamu. There are some of the students too there. Name is not displayed, only some letters are there. So let's begin the last unit today. So this could be the last class for this session. Particular paper that you have been dealing with. So the last unit is unit 15. The name of the unit is questions. Now, what is this question? Can you just brief me up, Shamo, and there's one more in the class. Can you just tell me what do you understand by this word question?
Question means asking something.
Yeah, very good.
Why, what, how.
Yeah, nice. Anybody else? We have Arisha there and then Surinder also in the class. I think Surinder is for the first time he's come to the class. Arisha, what do you think the question can be? There's something in the chat box. Inquiry. Very good. It can be an inquiry also. Now let's begin the unit. So what are questions? Questions are one of the most important aspects of human communication. So how do we communicate with each other? Let's say there's a scenario like we are traveling in a train. We're traveling by train and what do you do after some time as you get into the train? You start conversing with the co-passengers. So how do you begin your conversation? You start asking. Just asking is nothing but questions. You ask them, till where are you traveling? And is it your first time that you are traveling? Till where will you, I mean, where is your destination? At which point or the which city will you get on? And they keep asking you questions, and this is how you build up a conversation. So this is very important. This happens everywhere, right? From the time we wake up in the morning till the time we sleep, we have these questions with us every time. Either you're questioning, asking somebody for something, or you are trying to inquire about a few things which you don't know, right? A question is a sentence that seeks an answer. So this is also a way of, a beautiful way of understanding what a question is. The most common questions are yes or no questions and WH questions. So as just now Shamu has asked, there was he has shared with us that questions are what, when, how, and all this, right? So these are all questions. Now let us look into what I think is a question, right? So when we speak about a question, it is an interrogative question expression often used to test knowledge. It can be, questions are asked when you appear as students, when you appear for an examination, you have a lot of questions. Now, who is testing this? Your knowledge is being tested over here, right? So here, the test can be for knowledge. It can be, there are the n number of kinds of tests that happen in our country for at different levels. And even when you want to get job in a very good firm nowadays in a company, you need to appear test at few companies at least. So the question is something that you say or write in order to ask a person about something. So you might be asking about something, or you can ask me like, what are you doing today? Did you have your lunch now before the class? Or are you going to have your lunch after the session? Or when will we see each other? See, today is the last class, so the questions like this also can be asked, right? So a question, it acts both as a noun. The word form can be sometimes as a noun and also as a verb. Now let us see how it acts as a noun. A sentence is an interrogative form addressed to someone in order to get information in reply. So whenever we are asking questions to others or asking them about something that has happened and seeking information from them or trying to get information from them, then it acts as a noun. And a problem for discussion or under discussion, a matter for investigation. So most probably this is done only by whom? At home. There's an issue at home, or there's a problem to be discussed. All the family members sit and do it, and they start questioning, right? So this is also a noun when it plays like that. A matter of some uncertainty or difficulty, Problem usually followed by of the kind of asking or inquiry, interrogation or query. So on a whole, it is nothing but it is speaking about inquiries, investigations, interrogations, and all this, trying to get seek information. So here it plays the role of a noun. Now let's look at this example. When you are doing the same thing is being asked by you to someone, then it becomes a verb. Very simple it is. There is no difficulty in understanding that it plays a role of a noun and a verb. Noun is when you're planning things. Verb is when you're executing practically about the same thing. So you have your question papers. Like recently, most few of your friends they were unable to attend the class because they had written the exam which they couldn't appear, or might be with whatever might be the reason they appeared the semester exams. So during that time, what were you doing in the examination hall? You were trying to answer questions. So what were these questions? These questions were given in the examination paper only to test your knowledge. So the inquiry or the questioning part is only limited to your knowledge regarding the course that you have done or the subject that is concerned over there and the topics that are related to the subject that you have learned in that paper. Right? Is it clear? Now we'll move from the question to types of questions. Can there be only one type? Like initially when the topic was introduced, I told you there are two kinds of questions. It can be yes, no questions or WH questions. Like Shamu has given a few examples. He told how, why, when, and all. These are called WH questions. And yes or no is only when the reply comes in either yes or no. Did you have your lunch? I'm asking this question now. Yes, you can give me a reply.
Yes, madam.
Very good. Shamu gave an reply yes. So someone can say no, right? Even that is a reply. Now let us look at types of questions. In questions, under this, we have two different kinds of questions. We will first learn the first kind of questions, then how it can be the formation of these questions, how to form these questions also we will be learning today, and then we will go to the second form. Okay. So the first called polar questions, also known as yes no questions. Why this name polar? Because yes and no are two ends of a pole. After this yes there is nothing to add on, and after no there is nothing to add on, right? So these are called poles, and that's the reason it is called polar questions. What do polar questions generally do? They seek confirmation. So I just now I asked Shamu, did you have your lunch? He said yes. So what did I get the information? I was seeking some information, but I wanted a confirmed information. So he gave me a commitment stating that he had his lunch. Yes, they are usually answered in the form of confirmation or disconfirmation. It can be yes and disconfirmation is no. Just look at this example. Did Radha organize the event? Now, when we look at the sentence, did Radha organize the event? We understand that, there was an event that's happening. I can, from the sentence, I can, why this sentence would have come. If you ask me, I feel that, there's some event happening and there's some person called Radha and there's an inquiry going on if this person has organized the event. So this is not sure. Okay. Now look at the second sentence. Was it Radha who organized the event? So the event was organized. By whom is not known. So again, here also they're seeking a confirmation saying that was it Radha? Is it Radha or somebody else who has organized the event? Yeah, is it clear? You want me to explain again?
It is clear, madam.
Yeah, at least in the chat box, please do reply so that I can. Yeah, thank you. Now look at this formation of polar questions. So we have understood one part. Now how the polar questions keep coming, right? Arisha, thank you. Shamu, thank you. Okay. So we now need to understand the formation of polar questions, how these questions can be formed. So there are three strategies that are followed to form these questions. The very important one is the inversion of subject and auxiliary. The heading itself says that inversion means what? It is a duplication, or it is replacement, or it is what you feel like. It is change, might be, right? So let us look at this sentence. Sudha went to the university on Friday. Sudha is going to the university on Monday. I didn't find so much time to put the arrow there, so that's the reason I wrote the word answer them in auxiliary. I have mentioned it to beside is. So the sentence is Sudha went to university on Friday. That means this is the past action, right? Sudha is going to the university. So going is what? Future. So here is auxiliary is added. Now these kind of sentences we have in our everyday life whenever we come across, when we converse with our friends and all, we give lot of information and we use this kind of sentences. This is very common. There's nothing that you're going to learn in these two sentences here. It's only for me, for you all to understand that how we share when we share information, how the place of the verb is changing. Now look over here. Actually, in this particular, the inversion of subject and auxiliary, it is also called subject auxiliary. The subject auxiliary verbs swap their positions. Swap is they interchange their places. The sentence doesn't begin with a subject followed by the predicate, but begins with the auxiliary followed by the subject. So when this inversion happens, the places are changed. Look at this. This is a very small sentence that I've given, a very simple one for you to understand. Raj is planning a trip. Who is planning the trip? Raj is planning the trip. Now you have these words coming here. Who is planning the trip? You can ask these questions there, right? So you have this, Raj is planning a trip. Then when I raise a question about the same activity, so how do I frame the question? Is Raj planning a trip? So what is happening here? The color, that's the reason I've colored these letters here. RAG word, the name, the subject, the place has changed. In the first sentence, it is beginning of the sentence. The subject is beginning of the sentence. In the second sentence, the place has changed. The auxiliary verb, which is second after the subject in the first sentence, it has come to the place. It is beginning in the second sentence. So one thing you need to understand that any sentence begins always with the subject and the predicate. It is followed by this is a general rule. That is what here you have. Sudha and Sudhania went. That is went to the university. Is but now here in this sentence, when we follow the inversion of the subject and the auxiliary here, what happens is the auxiliary word, which is that verb, which is actually following up. It is coming after the subject. Yes, I hope this is clear. No confusion. Kindly please to interact. If you are not interacting or responding, I feel that yeah, someone has responded. Thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
madam.
Yeah, Arisha, thank you. You have understood. So let's move on. Now we have seen how the formation of polar questions are happening. Now let us open our reader. So the use of rising intonation pattern. This is one form, and the second one is the use of tag questions. Now what are these tag questions? Also we just see. Open page number 244. Yes. Now, when you look into your reader, those who are not having, I think, just follow as we read, and when I give you the examples there. Yeah, I'll stop the sharing part so that it's visible now. Okay. In English, yes/no questions are asked with a raising intonation. So this happens at home also. Like you reach home late, and your mom or dad would like to ask you where you have been, or if we have grown-ups or adults, I mean those who are married in this group here in the class, you have your wife inquiring why you are late from the office today, right? So why, what is the question they ask? The voice is changed. Intonation is nothing but the change in the voice when we speak. Why are you late today? Are you coming to the cinema? So these are something like I've just given you two examples. Let us look at the example that's given in the reader. Do you think she is not going to like our gift? You think she is not going to like our gift. So when we say the second part of the sentence that is in quote, we raise our voice. This is what happens. Now I think after the session is over, try to think about it at home when you speak with your with the people at home. That is, it can be your siblings, it can be your parents, it can be your children, anybody. When you speak, you tend to change your intonation as you speak with them. Okay. So this is nothing but you're trying to ask questions. So when we ask questions, our voice changes, right? Now let us look at these two sentences in the reader, that is 19 and 20. In 19 and 20, you will observe that, whenever you're trying to ask them such question, the voice is the second part of the sentence, the voice is raised. It is more louder and more specific. Like the same thing what we had in our schools. When we were in school, we had lot of times like, teacher asking us some question. Why were you late to the class? So when teacher used to ask us questions like that, her voice used to be raised. I mean, there would be a change in her normal talk and also while she's asking us questions, right? This you all would have experienced. Now let us look at the use of tag questions. Now what is this tag question? Tag question is nothing but a confirmation kind of a thing only. Like I may ask you, like Shamu was the first one to enter the class today. So Shamu is regular to the class, isn't he? Right? When I say isn't he, what is the sentence that I say? Shamu is regular to class. And what is the tag that I'm using? Isn't he? Just understand the question. Shamu is regular to class. That means this is a very positive sentence. But what is the tag that I'm adding? Isn't he? So here a negative tag is coming. Yes? Now let us give one more example. Like, uh, Shamu does not have a book. Does he? So here again, it is a negative sentence when I say that he doesn't have a textbook. And but when I'm adding the tag is positive. Is it clear now? Let us do a quick reading. 15.4.3, that is in the reader. If you see the questions over there, 21, 22, 23, and 24, the sentence is there. Puducherry is a very quiet place. Puducherry is a very quiet place, isn't it? Second one, Vijaya is not a very quiet girl. Vijaya is not a very quiet girl, is she? So, more like a thumb rule, like yesterday we have discussed about thumb rules. Thumb rules are nothing but these are the basic rules about a fixed rule when you learn about anything. Okay. So here what we understand is whenever the sentence is positive, the tag that is coming at the end is negative. And when the sentence is negative, the tag that is coming is positive. It's the either way around. Okay. Now let us look into the paragraph that is there below 24th question. What do you notice about the question tags in both these sentences? The auxiliary in the tag question 22 is negative, while the one in 24 is positive. But what is the tag? Tag is the either way. The tag is negative when the auxiliary in the sentence is positive. The tag is positive when the auxiliary in the sentence is negative. This is understood by all, right? Now let us look into page number 243, where we understand that when said with a caller, okay, whenever we are saying any sentence, how you speak the sentence is very important. That would emphasize how serious you are about it. For example, if I say, don't enter my class. See, I have said in a tone very different. Don't enter my class. And then again, I change my tone and say, don't enter my class. Which one is more, I mean, which really sounds, I'm giving you a order, the first one or the second one?
First one, madam.
First one, very good. So what happens is when we speak, the tone itself shows the seriousness of our questioning, right? So what happens is when the listener will understand how much I'm serious about seeking the information, or giving I mean asking you to do something or commanding you to do something. Whether I'm requesting you or I'm commanding you or ordering you or I'm pleading you. You can know all this based on the voice of the speaker itself. Yes. So that is about this use of tag questions. Now let's get back to the next form of questions. Yeah, the next form of questions are is called the content questions. The content questions, also known as WH questions, as they begin with who, which, why, when, where, etc. So there can be many, like how much. See, we are only saying WH questions, so all these words are beginning with WH. But we do have lot of questions, like our tummy do also plays lot of. I mean, it plays a very important role in asking questions, right? So they seek information. What do these content questions do? They seek information. And what do polar questions do? They confirm information. They seek confirmation. Yes or no? Are you the one who broke the table? Yes. So when you say yes, it is a confirmation. Here, they seek information. So the question can be, the table was broken. But by whom? Is more information that they can ask. They are answered with a yes or no. Look at the example there. Did you complete the task? Gautam is writing a story. Now look at this sentence over here. Gautam is writing a story. What is Gautam writing? So what happened here? The same subject auxiliary inversion happened over here. But when you add this what over here, and then the subject and verb, auxiliary verb, they change their place over here. Is this, the swiping has happened? So is came before and then Gautam afterwards. So even in content questions, you have this subject auxiliary inversion. This happens over here also, right? Now let us get back to your textbook again. There's a lot in the textbook for us to understand from there. So there diagrammatic representations are given there. So let us use that too. So you can open page number 240, yeah, 245. There's one question which diagram that we'll see and then get it to the next page. The sentence here is, Asghar is playing a match. Just look at the diagram there. You'll find that Asghar is playing. What is he playing? A match. And the question, what has come there, right? And then if I frame a question there, what happens? What is Asghar playing? So the inversion is happening over here. Yes, this is only to show you, make you all understand that how the inversion takes place. Now let us look at with another sentence over here. Adam will be visiting us tomorrow. Adam will be visiting us tomorrow. So this is a future action, not still not happened. So who is going to visit tomorrow? When is Adam going to visit? Tomorrow. So when the sentence, when you are questioning this, when will Adam be visiting us? So when I frame this question, sentence like this, a question like this, what happens is the same form will come here in the question. Look at the sentence. Adam will be visiting us tomorrow. When will Adam be visiting us? So see how the the verb has been divided there. Will be was the word there. So will came after the question. The word that we used, what, WH word, and then will came there. And after the subject, the verb be came again. So this is only for you all to understand. Okay. Please don't be confused. These are very simple things. Only thing, so many examples are given for you for a clear understanding of these sentences. And also a lot of practice work, check your progress is also there. Please don't skip them again and again. Even if you get bugged up, every session class I have been telling you the same thing. Kindly please work out with the check your progress. This will help you perform better in your exam. Okay. Now let us look at topic number 15.6.1, question words in English. So we have been in this paper, especially this paper, we have been learning a lot about the word forms, and we have been learning about the phonetic, the sounds of words. Who is visiting us tomorrow? Not correct, but the subject is not in the question now. Okay. Okay. It, even the sentence which has been given in the reader, Arisha, the question is also good. Adam will be visiting us tomorrow. When you ask the question when, tomorrow is the answer. And when will Adam be visiting us also can be written like this. Both ways it is right. She has given a question there, even that is also right. Who is visiting us tomorrow is Adam is going to, Adam is the answer that comes. Okay. So you have, now you are very much clear about how you can frame questions. Yeah, thanks, Aisha. There are two ways that you have given the question there. So she has one in the chat box for you all. You can, at leisure, you can go through that, take a snapshot and just try to explore the way she has given the form the question. Okay. So the words are very big that we can use for making questions. Like who is visiting us is what she used. We have who, what, why, where, which, how many, how much, how, and when. We can also raise a question like this. How will Adam visit us tomorrow? How is will he be, how he is traveling also can be questioned over here. So when you frame questions, lot can be lot of different kinds of questions you can frame over there to get more information or confirmation about the activity that's going to happen. Now look at 6.2, that is questioning consequence of a sentence. So in a question, when we are writing a question, a simple question comes, what is, where is, how, and all that, right? So when we have the components of a question can give a lot of answers. The answers can be in a single word, it can be in a group of words also. Let us look at the table that's been given in 247. Can we all look at that? So this is framed based on the sentence that is being given there, 39. Just look at the sentence above the table there. The little boy likes the red car more than the yellow car because it is new. So this is the demonstration of content questions in English for the sentence above. So now in the table you have content questions for that. Who likes the red car more than the yellow car because it is new? Yes. What does the little boy like more than the yellow car because it is new? What does the little boy like the red car more than because it is new? Why does the little boy like the red car more than the yellow car? Yeah. What is the color of the car that the little boy likes more than the yellow car because it is new? What is the color of the car that the little boy likes less than the red car because it is new? What is the thing that the little boy likes the red one more than the yellow one because it is new? Which boy likes the red car more than the yellow car because it is new? Yeah. Can you frame? You can also try framing more questions if you want to in different ways. Do you think? Do you think the little boy likes and I mean, do you think the little boy likes the yellow car too? Right? You can add on more sentences for questions for this. So this is how you add the inquiry happens. So we all know that the questions are used more by whom? Which department uses these questions more? Where does the interrogation happen? Generally at our homes, yes, and also by the police department, right? Now let us look at the questioning of verbs. So these are, we have these now, till now we have understood what are questions, different kinds of questions, how we can form polar questions and content questions also. This is all clear now till here. Now we are going to learn about questioning verbs. Verbs are questioned by replacing the verb in the sentence with the word do. So now the dummy do play game is coming again. We have already learned about the how the role of the dummy do is. So we are now going to see how it is taking place here. Francis is singing. What is the question there? What is Francis doing?
Singing.
You can also, Shamu, you can just mute your phone, please. What is Francis doing? Or is Francis singing? Right? You can frame questions like that. Barka was playing the piano. What was Barka playing? Sorry, doing? Jones will be contesting the elections. What will Jones be doing? Now, the object is questioned using what? In all these sentences, we understand that the object is being questioned using what? Francis is singing. What is Francis doing? Barka was playing the piano. What was Barka doing? Is it clear here? So this is an example of usage of what. Now, this chapter is done till here, and it is very clear for you all to understand. There's nothing confusion about the questions part. A quick revamp, or sorry, I want to have a quick recap of all the topics that we have done till now. So this is structure of modern English paper. I think this is the third semester, and we shall start from sounds again. So you all know that we have organs that are involved in our making sounds. So at times we use our, the glottis over here, the nose over here, the tongue over here, and a few sounds like the vowels. The sounds are made when your tongue is not touching the palate or the bottom. It's hanging like A, E, I, O, U, right? And you have your the tongue, the backside of, I mean, the upper portion of the tongue, that also plays very important role with few sounds. So we have learned about the sounds. The study of sounds is nothing but the phonetics. And then you have vowels and consonants. We have 26 letters in English alphabet, where 5 letters A, E, I, O, U are called vowels, which we have learned in UKG. You have semi-vowels also, they are included as you grew up. So please do learn in detail about them too. And the remaining letters are called the consonants. You have the vowel sounds and the consonant sounds. Then you have, words which are content words and the functional words. We have types of verbs which we have done. Uh, so those who have the textbook with them, you can go through, 67. We have few sentences there given. You can open the reader so that, as we read very important things, I would be explaining again once again for you all. Page number 67, 68. I think, Shamu, you have this fixed with you in your mobile. You can open that. There you have the content words and structure words. The content words are also known as lexical words. These are very important because they keep coming across. You keep coming across. Okay. There's a sentence given by Shamu in the chat box. Others can also read it. So the content and the structure words, you know that the content words are nothing but the lexical words. Now, what are these lexical words? I told you whenever we speak about any situation, any place, any set of words, like for example, I'm talking about internet. So when I speak about usage of internet, I speak about internet connection, then, my lexical would be a computer or a laptop or a desktop, and then the Wi-Fi connection, the router, and then I also speak about the CPU, keyboard, mouse, then webcam. So like this, the group of words which are pertaining to one particular thing is called lexical. For example, if we speak about the classroom, you have doors, windows, benches, desks, blackboard or whiteboard or green board. Nowadays, you have different colors of boards in the classroom. Then fans, then, few schools or colleges nowadays they have AC also. The provision of AC is also there in the classroom. So all these ones, the students and the teachers, everybody come under that, right? So these are called the lexical or the content words. Now, looking at these structure words, what are these structure words? They do not carry any meaning in isolation. That is, when you use them along with other words, only then they have a meaning. Otherwise, they are not having any meaning as such. Or you can call them as helping words also. So you have, few words, many words there in as helping words. Common ones you can also learn them very easily. I have given you a few links. Please kindly go through the links whenever you have time so that you will have an idea about what these are like. Okay. So we have strong and weak forms of the verbs. Like, you have few words which uh, cannot form the other word very easily, right? So you can go through that some of, and now I think after this we have done lot of types of verbs. We have done, phrases, we have done clauses. You are there introduced to word classes, that is the parts of speech is nothing but the word classes. And you need to determine the word class, how you can identify which class. So we all know you have 8 word classes that begins with your noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb, verb, verb, adverb, conjunction, preposition, and interjection. Basically, when it comes to the phonetics part, there are other things, we always demand, there was always a discussion based on the traditional grammar. So I'm speaking about the traditional grammar where we have parts of speaking, but why are not few components of the word forms not added up as parts of speech is a question which the new linguistics grammar is being asking about. So you have learnt about all the word phrases. We call them as word forms. That's very clear for you, and you need to understand that these are the terms that you will be using now as a student of English. We will not be like a layman. We won't be using the other words. Got it? So you have your major word forms, you have models, you have regular form verbs, irregular verbs, and basic form verbs, forms that we use regularly in our daily life. You can know about their simple form, simple past form, and also the past participle form. Be thorough with it. Like I don't know to which from which background you are doing this course, but it would be helpful for you somewhere in your workplace also if you learn, if you are thorough with them, so that the framing of a sentence would not go wrong. Like today, someone has sent a message to me in WhatsApp saying that it was regarding someone responding, and the sentence reply given to me was, they has not responded. Is it right? They has not responded. Is it a right sentence? If a reply comes like this? No. Yes, Arisha, I know. It's wrong. They haven't responded. So these kind of errors do happen if we are not thorough with the rules, and also, yeah, and also, if they don't know the usage of the word form, what comes before what. So you need to be thorough with those words also, right? And we also know that when we speak about the adjectives, when we speak about the degrees of comparison, what happens when you have words with single syllables? Single syllables is like cut, put, these are the single sounds. For example, I have given an example as beautiful, or let's say pretty, pretty. So two syllables are there. Pretty, prettier, prettiest, right? Is it right? Yes. Now take another example with some three sounds coming. You give me a word. Any word. Any one of you. Yeah. Okay. Happy, happier, happiest. Arisha has given one more example. Yeah, that's good. Happy, happier, and happiest. That's nice. So when you speak about words with three syllables, any example? Yeah. because I remember I always take this beautiful as an example, but not always the same word. I want you all to give me an example of something or any other word. Even in degrees of comparison, we have few words which exclusively don't form the comparative degree when you add ER to it, or the superlative degree with IEST. So these words you can say that, like good, better, best, you know. Shamu, this is a normal two syllable words, three syllable. I'm asking you. Bright, brighter, brightest. He has given you one more example. Bright, brighter, brightest. Any other word? Color trying. Okay, he's given the same word which I said, beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Any other example you have in your mind? Yeah, any word which begins with more than two syllables, we add more before it when we use it in compare when we are comparing it with comparing it with other things, and in the superlative degree we use most before it. So uh, these are about degrees of comparison, and let us get into the affixes and suffixes. Now, what are these affixes and suffixes? Where do you add a prefix? Where do you add a prefix to a word? Yes. Hmm? Before a word. Very good. Arisha, thank you. She has given the answer there. Prefix is added before a word and suffix is added after the word. So, for example, you have imbalance. IM is added before. And what can you add at the back? Understandable, knowledgeable, right? You are adding at the back. So these are the suffixes and prefixes that we have learned. You also, this was under the types of verbs that might be after that we have learned about all these things. The free and the bond forms, uh, we have learned about that in block number 3, word formation, where you have learned about the morphemes and how the morpheme, because of its sound, the suffixes are added, or when you are writing the past tense form of the word, yes is added to it. For example, yeah, Shamu given a good example, unhappy over there. The boy, when we write the past tense form, we are writing s, adding s to it. So it becomes boys, right? Same thing like in Telugu, Ammailu, Ammai, Ammailu. So lu is added at the end, right? So these are few things. I'm just doing a brushing up of this what we have learned. You have immobile, where the same word is having a prefix and a suffix. Immobilization. So im is the prefix over there. Then mobile is the word. Like immobilization. Zation is the word which is added as a suffix over there. So this is there when you have learned about the inflexes and the derivational inflexes, affixes in English, how they happen and how they keep changing the form of the word. That is, the word form keeps changing, whether it is an adjective, it is a noun, or it is a verb. The place also says, the word form also changes as we keep on adding up these affixes. So we also understood that, word formation in English, there are a lot of words which have been formed by borrowing from other languages. So we have lot of words that have been borrowed technically. For example, now we have biryani also in the dictionary. Every year in the dictionary, a lot of words are being added. So biryani is an Indian word, right? So you have a lot of that, and when you check for the meaning of a roti, you also have definition given for that in the dictionary. So you have derivation. Derivation again, you have how the words are done, whether by compounding, or you learned all this in the previous classes we have done about it, the compounding part, where you keep adding words, two words added up together, they form a new word, right? Blackboard, a word is formed over there. And the other cases, we have blending also. Blending is where, two different things are there, two different words, and a few letters from both the words are taken, letters are taken, and the new word is formed. For example, smog plus fog, smog, right? Smoke plus fog, right? So like this, you have lot of formation, word formations which you have learned at leisure when you are free. Those who have skipped breakfast and had an early lunch today, you can call it a brunch, right? You all had I think most of you all would have had a brunch there. So there are a lot of words given also in your textbook, and after each unit with lot of explanation over there. Please kindly go through them, because one of them may end up in your question paper. And if you're not thorough with them, you won't be, performing better in your exam. So this is very simple. Like, now that the explanation is over, you may have any time your exams shortly, or might be, because this is an online class, all those who have attended, only few of you from your batch have attended, the others didn't do it. So I think you can help them out if they reach out to you. Okay? So when it coming to the word forms that we have learned till now, we have something called under noun. We have noun gender. We have we have noun number. Number again here speaks about what? It speaks about what is the quantity of the noun. For example, let me say I have two pens with me. So when I'm saying pens, there are two. So here this is a plural, right? We call them plural. And if it is singular, only one item is there with me, it is called singular. Then coming to gender, you have four types of genders: feminine, masculine, neutral gender, and common gender also. Then you have first person, second person, third person. I'm speaking to you is first person. You are the second person, and then the same thing you are relating to somebody after going home. This becomes the third person. So we use I, we, you, he, she, it, they, them, themselves. So you can speak about, you have lots of things there in the grammar, the words you need to be familiar with, and also need to practice also. See, grammar doesn't come today I have learned, I'm thorough with it. It's not like that. We need to practice like mathematics. You need to practice, you need to do a lot of sentences, and as students of English, I request every one of you all to be updated with what are the changes that's happening day to day. There are new things that are coming up. The rules are changing. So the usage is changing, and word formations, you have lot of new words forming every day. So from where are these words forming? Let's say there's someone who is invented some item, a new product. For example, let's say they have identified a few students who are very intelligent, and these students were given a project to to manufacture a machine which does some work. So now again to give names to a new machine which does 3-4 jobs at a single go, they try to come up with new words, vocabulary. So in English, it is very important for us to learn and be connected with the vocabulary. So what's happening around us has to be connected with us. That is, we are living in a society where a lot of things happen every day. The new words, new technology coming up, we need to be familiar with those things. And coming to the cases, we already have learned about the noun cases, how they are related to the subject of the verb, the object of the verb, and the possessive words there, and then the subject object of the preposition, right? You also, just now I was reminded of, we have been speaking about beautiful over here, where even Shamu has given the same example. Why only we are speaking about the feminine gender here when we speak about being beautiful. So let us take the word handsome. When you take the word handsome, it is more handsome and most handsome. Right? Like this, you can keep trying with your friends when you're free and all, and that's how you will be improving your language simultaneously. Now, coming to the phrases, So that is block 4. We have learned about phrases. The whole block is about phrases. You have been understanding phrases, the head of a phrase, you know about it, the structure of a phrase, and then you have noun phrases, you have adjective phrases, adverbial phrases, right? And the prepositional phrases. So you know how to write the structure of the phrases too. You have learned about it. So it's very important for you to uh, at least do 1 2 sentences at least. There are in check your progress exercises have been given. Kindly go through them and do the exercises that are given. When it comes to page 193, page number 193, there's an exercise there given for you all. Do it and check with the answers at the back. Simply don't look at the question and then check for the answer. If you do that, you will never be learning about it. The practice is very important. Even if you're wrong, use your pencil, do it, and then try to understand. So you learned about clauses also here in this, I mean, the next coming units, and then the different kinds of clauses that we have. We did yesterday also independent and dependent clauses and the other forms of the clauses there. So we now know that sentence, a group of words which make complete sense is called a sentence. And the different kinds of sentences, the forms of sentences that we have is a simple sentence, then we have compound sentence and complex sentence, then we have compound complex sentences. So in a sentence, simple sentence, you have a subject and a predicate, and it always has a single clause in that. When you speak about the compound sentences, we have more than one clause in that. And coming to the complex sentence, we have independent clause and a dependent clause. Whereas in compound, we have independent clauses. But when we come to the complex sentence, we have a dependent clause and an independent clause. So when we speak about the dependent clause, we know that they are a group of words which do not stand on their own. They don't give a complete meaning. They are always dependent on the independent clauses. Okay. This is fifth block that I am explaining now, and then we have uh, in this compound and complex sentences, we had done in detail yesterday how to identify what are the components of clauses. Then what is a subject and predicate to? Subject is nothing but about the main noun of the sentence, about whom the whole discussion of the sentence is about. It is called a subject. And what is spoken about the subject is called a predicate. And you have object also there in the predicate, and you have agents. Agents are words which, even if they are there or their absence, their presence or absence doesn't make any difference in a sentence. Okay. So that is like, people have held protest marches in many parts of the country. So in many parts of the country, even if you remove also, it makes sense. Its presence also doesn't make much of a sense over there. Okay. So like you can make now your own sentences for better understanding of these topics, right? Now, after this, the complex compound sentences, we have come for the coordinating and subordinating conjunctions. We have learned about how the conjunctions keep adding the sentences, and also they play an important role there, right? So that is clear when you have finite and non-finite dependent clauses, where the finite is nothing but it can we can identify the time of an action or even from the verb. So if you can find out the time of action and the place of action and everything, it is a finite. That is, it gives you complete information. If the information is incomplete, then you can call it a non-finite verb. So that is about the verbs, clauses, phrases that we did, and how to form a complex sentence, simple sentence, and compound sentence. Now that we know basically that a group of words make complete sense. Like the simple sentences all are present to the class, right? So if I want to make a complex sentence, I can say that few students were regular to the class, others joined whenever possible. So, this is a complex sentence. So the second part of the sentence, if I put it out as a group of words, it doesn't stand alone, and it doesn't do the function of a sentence. So like this, the sentences can be formed. Now coming to the questions, questions. Just now we have done the questions part. We all know that without questions, there is no life for us. We always have been asking questions. We have been doing inquiries since the day we are born, right? And whatever civilization has developed or growth is happening, it is a man has improved to a very large extent based on this communication only, based on the communication called questions. He has been asking questions, why this is happening, why this is not happening. And then the exploration into different fields, various fields that as a human, the mankind has been exploring. And the result of this exploration is whatever we are in the society today. Yes. So questions also play very important role. And when we think about the types of questions, we have polar questions and also the content questions. So you know what are the polar questions? The polar questions are yes and no. And when we speak about the content questions, the WH questions are all content questions. And formation of questions, you already know, we have done for this. Uh, there are few check your progress exercises that are given in the reader in the 15th chapter. I request every one of you all to go through the textbook in detail, every topic, and try to do the practice immediately. Check your progress. As you do check your progress, you can evaluate your understanding and your knowledge about the topic itself. So you can analyze and you will know whether you need to do a second reading about the chapter. So after the sessions are over, please kindly request again and again each one of you to take your reader, spend some time with it. I think one day is enough for one unit. So there are 15 units. In 15 days, you can do a thorough revision of this if you have attended the classes. Those who won't attend, I'm pretty sure they would have their own understanding levels. So those who have attended, please benefit with this by going through the readers immediately. I think Shamu, you can please be on the task of collecting your textbook from the university. Approach the university, find out from the student cell when you can have your textbook, the English reader, or else you can ask for a copy from your friends and get it Xerox done, so that you would not miss the learning part. Okay. So till here we are done with the textbook. There are some question papers given at the end. Model question paper is given at the end of your textbook. The paper model will be section, you have three sections there. Section A is 20 marks, B is 60, and C is 20 marks again. A speaks, is asking you to answer only 5 questions. So you have few sentences, they're asking you to describe and all that. You have a choice of 10 questions there, and you're answering only 4. So that's a very wide choice for you. Then again, in section B, you have 5 questions here, all having the choice of 2. That is 10 again. 10 questions are there. So under each question, you have A and B. So you finish a good time amount to go through each question and try to recollect your answer. Frame, if you're thorough with the answer, I think you can write it. I think you can answer the paper now itself without any reading if you have understood the sessions. Coming to session C, there are a lot of multiple choice questions are there here. So this would be an easy one, an easy scoring thing for you all. Please be prepared and try to answer more questions in the same pattern. So how many sounds are there in English language? We have 26 letters. But what about the sounds?
44, madam.
Very good, Shamu. That's what I said. To those who have attended the class sessions now, they can answer this paper immediately. So try to do that also. Whenever you have time, when you have time, please do answer the question paper, the model question paper. Will be thorough with your knowledge on this textbook. Okay. So any questions from your end?
Madam, what is the difference between since and for?
What is the difference between?
Since and for, madam.
Since and for. Okay, this is the time. It speaks about the time. Okay. I have been living here for 20 years. Since is something which has happened in the past, and I'm giving you a time. That is when I'm speaking about a location place, especially. So when I say that I'm living in Hyderabad since how many years? Let's say 30 years. Okay. When I say 30, I speak about it. For how long have you been waiting for her? So let's say you're waiting for your friend at the bus stop. So how would you say there? Since how long are you waiting for her? So how do you use this here there? So for instance is we use it like this only.
Madam, it is point of time or period of time, like that.
Okay, okay. For is for the beginning and end of the time you can use for. And when you point is precisely when you are specific about something, you use since.
Thank you, madam.
Like I told you, since 30 years I've been living here. Yeah, yeah, that is thing. So nothing. Any more doubts? Yeah, so all the best, wonderful time learning. No doubt, Sarisha. Thank you very much, Sarisha. So all the best for your exams. Please do prepare well. Go to the reading, the textbook reading again. Try to all progress. Thank you.